ended, and then we have to start all over. So today we'll be having Somi Uranta live with us. Somi Uranta is an author of so many books. Is a philosopher, a philanthropist as well. So I'll be inviting him right live. Okay.
Yeah, I guess
All
I'm
right.
back now.
Yeah, yes, sir. So
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
So I did not know what happened, but I had to end it from my end. So I have to just do a summary, Oliver, so that when I
Yes.
post, yeah.
Yes.
So we're having Somi Uranta on stage live. Somi Uranta is an author of so many books, and is a philosopher, a great philosopher, and also a philanthropist. And then he does everything, a father, and then it's all. So before now, he said, like, where we stopped was you letting us know that yesterday was a cancelled check, tomorrow is a promising note, and today is the only cash at hand we have to spend. And then you
Sure.
have been trying to let us know that our yesterday should in no way be better than our today.
Exactly.
Good, sir.
Exactly.
So should continue from there, sir.
So, what I am trying to pass across here, the message I'm trying to pass across here, is the fact that the Nigerian youth, is plagued by so many issues. More so when the leadership, those who are in power, those who are in leadership authority, who dispenses with the social contracts, the contracts signed between the citizens and the leadership, the followers and the leaders. When they are left with the raw end of the deal, so the youths are disenfranchised. They don't get what they are supposed to be getting. So what is left for them is to find a way to get involved in what I would call escapism.
Okay, escapism.
Yeah.
So what's escapism, sir?
Escapism is a situation where, for one reason or the other, someone could be bored, could be idle, could be, could be anything. No, maybe no work, nothing, hunger and starvation, and maybe the youth have so much energies, right? They become bored. They begin to find a way. It's like water. The youthful energy, it's like water. When you block it, try to block it from expressing itself, it will find a way. Any small space it sees, it will burst it open, and you just see flooding take place. So, the Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka, once said that he regrets that he belonged to a wasted generation. That's how he described his generation. And again, to whom much is given, much is expected. So I feel for the youth. I feel for them, the Nigerian youths, because people who are leading us today are people who benefited immensely from the largesse of the universe, of the colonial masters who laid the foundation for this nation during the colonial rule. But these men and women, after getting all the things they got from those people on a platter of gold, maybe platinum, they now, should I say connivance? They connived to deny the youth of today from benefiting those things. They have bastardized our educational system. They have bastardized our social system, our culture, religion, and all. I mean, what have you? So the youth is now bedeviled with the only option of escapism. I am not holding brief for anybody to go start doing drugs, but I'm trying to say, because Abraham Lincoln said, if you want to get somebody to see things from your point of view, you have to learn to see things from the person's point of view first and foremost.
Okay.
I must feel for the youth because they've been deprived from what benefit are supposed to be benefiting from their nation. I'm around Ikeja right now. When you see the hordes of Nigerian youth sitting down, idling about and away in different parts of the city, nothing to do, doing drugs, doing this. Well, people say you cannot blame the hawk that came to that swoop on the cheek and pick one away. After blaming the hawk, you also have to blame the chick who must have walked away from the heads, I mean from the crowd, from the mother's cover, that strayed away, that gave the hawk the impetus to come and pick it up.
Yes.
And again, we also used to say that an empty bag to stand upright. You must put in something into the bag for it to be able to stand upright. Have you tested it? A bag, you just leave it, all this hair. It will just fall, you will not stand erect. But if you put something into the bag, if you pack gari, you pack beans or rice, you see it stand firm and stand erect. So I am trying to see things, from the perspective of the youth, why they have to choose this escapist lifestyle, where they think that the space that is created, the vacuum, that lacuna, can only be filled by drug and the abuse of it.
Okay.
So like I say, I am not holding brief for them. There is no reason why someone will kill himself because another person denied the opportunity to grow or to live. You don't have to kill yourself for that. But I'm not also saying that I am happy with the situation of things, because we have no business being poor as a nation. A country that is so rich and so blessed have no business, being in abject poverty like Nigeria is. Because when I look, I'm from the Niger Delta. When I look at the country, I see so many opportunities. But I see that people who are in power, who are in position of authority, are not thinking about that. They're not thinking. Can you imagine that this nation, Nigeria, we've been flaying gas for over 60 years. We've been burning it in different, over 100 platforms are flaying gas. They just flay it away, just keep burning it day in, day out. Yet, I went last week to buy gas, 12.5 kgs, over 5,300. So we don't have any need to be poor. There's no reason under the sun. But because of bad management. So the youth, when they are bored, when they are confronted with so much situation, they now think that going to drug and the abuse of it will become a way of life, a way of escaping. That's where the word comes, escapism. A way of escaping from reality, from the staring situation that is staring them in the face, which is a very wrong way to perceive, situations. So you are asking me about what I mean by escapism.
Yes, I get it now, sir.
Yes. So I am saying that the Nigerian youth, this sort of campaign you are carrying on, will help to situate and refocus their view towards life. Apart from doing Instagram and all that, I don't know how you have planned it, but there will be need to go physical, go to different places. If I pass somewhere in Ikodo today, in Ikeja here, I saw a woman trying to preach the gospel. But I tell you, just preaching the gospel is not enough to change these guys. They are hardened. They have been taking this thing, and you have been there. When you take one, the sweetness of it, the way it will take you away, from reality.
From reality.
Take you to a state of phantasmagoria, where you begin to look at life, from a different perspective. that kind of feeling is not something you just come and say, receive Jesus Christ. There'll be more. There'll be more. But I'm not saying that that is not something worthwhile. It is worthwhile. But there's need for us to do more, for people to do more, to bring our youth out of that kind of escapist view on life and about life. You know? So, like this, that's possible to pass the message across to the youth that abusing drug is not the way to go. It can only pull you in and suck you in. And when you are sucked into it, the end, you know, you were talking about, there was a place I was watching, you were talking about how somebody died, one of your friends died in a car crash, he ran into a stationary vehicle.
Yes, that was the guy that introduced me to my first weed. It started with Colorado.
Yeah. So those kind of things, you know, when you seem or try to escape from reality, you see, we are physical beings. We are living here, even though we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, but we cannot take away our physical experiences. So we have to face the situation as it is with our consciousness, you know, being conscious and aware. We attack the situations as it's facing us, running away, escaping into drug, into alcohol, into anything untowardly, and the abuse of it. Some of these things, well, if you just take a little, like people say, for your stomach's sake and all that, the joy, the lure will pull you to the point that you wouldn't know when you have crossed the thin line between usage and abuse. You know?
Very correct, sir.
Yeah, because we may not know how to cross the thin line between usage and abuse. So that's why there is need for constant pounding of the mind, constant, you know, passing of the message across, so that people, the youth, will be able to understand that they don't have to escape into drug and all that as a way of taking care of their situation, even as excruciating and painful as those situations might be. Are you saying something? Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, sir. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I can hear you, sir.
Are you saying something? You said it was going to be interactive.
Yes. Of course, I was actually listening to you and then waiting. You should, you should be done. Of course, about the physical, meetings, I already planned with my manager. That's Benita Okore, and then it's because I'm still in school right now, having my final exams. Okay. I'll be done in about 2 months. I've been in school for over 10 years now. Yeah. All because I abuse drugs. And
you know something. Sorry, a moment. You know something. Life comes to different people in different ways, but no life that is worth mentioning that is a straight course. It is the bends and the detours and the corners of life that makes your life experience and your life story interesting.
To be interesting.
If you just came up and then you were born into silver spoon or golden spoon and you live, go to school, everything just smooth, nobody wants to hear your story. You don't have a story to tell. You see, it's the failures that we encounter in life that elevates us to a point where we begin to have a story to tell. You know, so, and you know, the universe is also very, very intelligent and very, very benevolent. That is why it exposes us to some certain things today, so that those things, we think sometimes that those things are there to, those experiences are there to push us down. No, those experiences of today and of yesterday are actually meant to help us navigate our ways better tomorrow, because the universe knows the end before the beginning. So it puts us through the lessons that we need, that will become handy as we navigate, through our checkered mortal existence. So the experiences we went through, having gone to school, a course of maybe 5-6
5
years,
years. And now I'm
will now be
spending
for
10
10.
years.
Don't worry. It is what we make. That's why we are here talking. If you
Yes,
had
that's
just done
true.
it like every other person, you won't really have any much to say. Nobody will be interested in your story. So our failures are, it's like to a general, an army general, a very brilliant and very, very a great hero. Those stars you see, all those medals you see on his chest, are the things that shows that he's actually who he is. That what makes him a feared and revered general. So life allows those things to come so that we can have and be worthy of the medals we have in life.
Yeah.
And by the way, we all have our own, we are all on assignments, really. But
Yeah.
everybody have his own program. When you are done with yours, you go back. But our experiences too are as unique as our life trajectory. What is to you, your own experiences and your life is different from mine. And so it is to every other human being on earth. But what is most important is that whatever experience we have, we'll document it and make it available to others. So
To
that when
others.
they have those experiences on their hands, they can be able to use that experience to guide them so that they don't have to fall on the same ditch where some of us fell into. That's the way to make progress in life. It's just unfortunate that that blacks, we are not used to recording things down. We're not used to recording things down. I watched a National Geographic program where someone from the birth of, the lioness gave birth to a cub, and this person shot a camera into the body of that cub, and he observed this cub for almost 30 years before the animal, the lion, died. He observed for 30 years. He was following this beast everywhere, using everything possible to follow it. And at the end of the day, when the animal eventually fell down and died, he said his job was done. And he had it all recorded down. Someone else studied rats. He studied rats. He went to different parts of, virtually all the continents of the world, collecting different species of rats and documenting it. Why are they behaving like this? So that those who might want to, go into such similar research tomorrow, they don't have to start from the scratch. They will have a body of knowledge that has already been systematized and recorded to work on, something to stand on, a pedestal.
To start on.
Yes, instead of going to start afresh. That is why we keep going backward. We keep going backward as a people.
So thank you very much. Okay. So
yes, go on.
All right, sir. So for the youths, when we talk about globalization, I made mention of TVs, what we see on social medias, on TV. Like for example, sir, you are a father. Imagine I'm your son. Of course, I'm your son. So like growing up, in what ways would you, have put me through in order for me to, scale through not being a victim to drug abuse? For example, my life, I started all my life from boarding school. I went to primary school, boarding school, secondary school, boarding school. So I was, brought up by friends. I decided, well, the kind of people who teach me what life is all about, because even our matrons and teachers then just had little time, little impact in my life. My parents were just nowhere to be found as well because I was in boarding school. But I, as a forthcoming parent of tomorrow, how would I teach my child, or gathering your own experience, sir? Like, how did you tutor your children to stay away from abuse of drugs, because it all starts, it does not start from marijuana. You know, it starts from those
Yes.
little pills when we're in secondary school, when they give us this. Take, it starts with even paracetamol. Like, take paracetamol, it cures headache. It starts from there. And then if you are not very careful, you would, all your belief will be on drugs. You know, from paracetamol to tramadol. Oh, take tramadol, it will help you stay awake at night. You know, from those little pills, before you know it, you try alcohol. Everyone drinks, no matter what. You know, everyone at least would have tried alcohol. So
Yeah.
there are just some things you should never try. But you know, human beings, we are all inquisitive and they would want to try. So thank God for some people who have been documenting and then making us realize that cocaine is very, very dangerous. Do not start it, because once you start it, you are gone. So thank God for those documentaries. I'm so sure everyone should have been on this table, you know, trying to know what cocaine is about. Just the same way everybody in this life, like before you clock your 30s, you must have taken alcohol, whether you like it or not, like
Yeah.
99% of Nigerians. So thank God for the documentaries. If there were to be no documentaries or survivors whatsoever to tell us that, okay, cocaines are bad or there are levels to drug abuse, I'm so sure everybody would be a victim. So as a parent, like, how am I supposed to stop my children from watching Big Brother Nigeria? You know, for example, because even in Northerners are trying to say, you know, maybe Nigeria is already like explicit, the whole sex, the whole nudity, that one is probably outside the box. But then when it comes to music videos, you see our celebrities, they smoke in the music videos. You see Whiskey, he smokes, Davido, he smokes, Burna Boy, he smokes, this, he smokes. Of course,
In
they
fact, they
already know the
advertise
different,
it.
yes, of course, they know the different grades to these smokes. They don't take Colorado. But I, as a youth, like watching them, I don't even know the difference between Colorado and what I should not take. So they are smoking, and then I would believe this smoke would inspire them, you know, give them more orientation, which is a typical lie. That's why I even uploaded the video of Eminem, the video of an actor, and then so many other videos. Like, if you are into smoke, if you smoke whatsoever, you would never achieve what you should achieve. That's the truth. You would have memory loss. There's no matter of highness. Like, I'm a survivor, I can stand to it. There's no, like, you would doze, you would sleep, you would perform below your performance. So there are so many people out there, you know, the TVs, the musicians, the actors, they smoke, and then they make the kids believe, okay, it is okay to do it. So in what ways do you think we can actually like fight against that? Because you made mention
First,
of going physical, which we shall go physical. By the time I get
yeah.
to Lagos, of course, I, Benita, and the rest will get in touch with you in South Africa, in United Kingdom, in USA. But how do we tackle, you know, the young children, letting them know this is bad?
One thing that is very common these days is the question of hunger in the land. You know, the biting economic hardship in the land kind of compel a lot of parents to shake their responsibility of taking care of their kids, their wards, to the point that a father will say, well, all I need to do is to go make the money. As father is making money, the mother is making money to make ends meet, and then the child is left in the care of other people. Either I send the child to the boarding houses, or maybe in the house of one nanny or so. Peer pressure, peer influences. You experienced it,
Yeah.
just like you said that you ended up growing up learning most things from friends, So we should try as much as possible to give that parental touch. Try to be there to see what the children are doing, because even your own time is still better. The new world we are moving into, it's
Yes.
even going to be more dangerous, because
Very, very,
information
very,
is now
very,
at our
very, very.
fingertips. Yeah, when you were growing up, I'm sure it was not like this. Certainly, it could not have been
Yes,
like this.
it's
You know,
it's it's like booming now. Drug abuse is just everywhere. People dying, even medical
yes,
students. Like last June, a medical student in Absu Smooth, Colorado, jumped off a building. There's this manager to Barry J, I'm not sure you know him. This by Godson, he jumped off a cliff in, I'm not sure, probably in Ghana. You know, so many other people like this Chidimakis. A lot of people
Yes.
die of
Yes.
drug abuse. It just like today, sir, the way we are talking right now, there are some new intakes into drug abuse. There are some people that have just been introduced, like more than
Yes.
thousands of people that have been introduced, like
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
They're actually like taking cocaine right now.
And if you check the numbers, if you check the number that have said that are saying no to drug abuse today, compared to the number that got indoctrinated, you know the disparity is so wide.
1 is to
Maybe
1,000.
if yes, 1 to 1,000 or 1 to 2,000. So
1 to 2,000.
so
1 to, yeah.
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You know, it's unfortunate. It's sure that we have to keep pushing and
We
preaching
have
the
to keep
gospel
pushing.
to stay away from drug abuse. Just like you stated earlier on, drug abuse doesn't have to do with marijuana or
Yes, it
cocaine
does
and all that.
not.
Yes, because even is it not people that tried when they tried taking cough syrup, they're supposed to take a certain milligram,
Codeine.
and then of that cough syrup that has codeine in it, and then people now try to take beyond that, and then they see the reverse action on them. They say, man, this thing cool. They start taking it more, and then they start drinking it. Before you know, someone will now down a full bottle.
A full
Something that
bottle.
you're supposed to take, yes, something you're supposed to take for
2 weeks.
say 5 days,
Yeah, 5
5 or
days.
7
Yes.
days. You are not finishing it instantly. You know,
Instantly,
I
you
used
have to go.
yes, I used to have a friend. The guy is late now.
Mm.
He's an artist, very great artist. I call him original. His art is
All right, so I'm not sure what is wrong right now. Well, so on stage we have Somi Uranta. He's a great actor, author. He has, published so many books, and he's a great philosopher as well. He has been on board with us, telling us about the influence of globalization and drug abuse to our youth. So, Bibi Amo, Miss Biola in South Africa, we thank you. Thank you for being here, for making it on here. Esusa, Nelly, I see you. Thank you for joining. Alima, pharmacist Alima, thank you. The Peace Judge, I see you. Of course, Benita, I see you. I don't know why we lost our guest. So, in a nutshell, we're just discussing about, just creating more awareness so we could curb the effect of drug abuse in the society. I want you all to know that no one is greater than the power of drugs. Yeah, Esosa, I'm saying I. Esosa, that's my friend. She's into real estate. Just go to the people I'm following, and then if you want to get anything on the island, yeah, you want to buy a purchase house, I know, just contact Esosa. So, like I was saying, so it's very terrible experience. It was a very terrible experience falling into drug, being a victim, because no matter what, it will take so much from your life. So you should never, ever do drugs. And those of us who are still into drugs, not me actually, when I meet those of us, I'm actually saying those of us because I passed through drugs then. So for those of us who are still struggling, back then I was struggling, but now I'm very fine. I'm clean of drugs for over a year plus now. So you should just try every possible means. I know it's not easy. I know it's not an easy task. Okay, Ranta is on live. I just sent an invite, sir. So I know it's not easy, but you just have to stop. So, sir.
yes.
All right, sir.
It's network issues.
Okay. So we are discussing about parents and then children.
Yes.
I can hear you,
Yes. So
sir.
Yeah, like I was saying, parents should not leave the job of taking care of their children to the nannies and to the teachers, the school environment alone. Parents, in spite of the hardship, in the system, should try to spare time to check out what the children are doing, because abuses are in different dimensions, and then with the globalization situation now, where the world, instead of being a global village, has become a global kitchen. It's so easy to pass information, dangerous information, from one end to another. So, and people get excited when they discover new stuff, new things that they will use, to get high. And when you get high on one today, tomorrow you want to surpass where you were, the point where you got high today. You want to get higher. And then next tomorrow, the person want to get even higher. And then that's where the abuse keep going and keep going until you high until one day somebody will just fall off the cliff.
Yes. Unfortunately.
I have to keep talking to people. And by the way, there is someone I will introduce into to talk on this program. It's called Dr. Precious.
Okay.
We've done things in on Galaxy TV. We'll do things regularly on MITV.
Okay.
So
sir.
I will link him up. You need to bring him to share his experiences.
I really appreciate, sir.
Yes, Dr. Precious, you will be glad to be part of it.
All right, sir. So you were talking about your friend Original, an artist.
God bless you.
Sir, it is because I am no longer taking drugs. I hope you know if I were to be taking drugs, I would not remember.
You will remember, yes. You will remember. You're right. Yeah. So Original, he's late now.
Okay.
Original is an extremist. Anything he wants to do, he will go to the extreme of it. But anyway, if you are that is common with great, people with great skills like him. Original went and bought this Dijon hemoglobin blood tonic, and he took it to where he was staying.
Oh.
He opened it. He just took a little, said it tasted nice, and he drank everything. Blood tonic.
Wow. Wow.
He said he poured everything into his mouth and he drank everything and dropped the bottle. He said for 3 days, he could not talk, he could not sleep, he was just lying down on the bed.
Wow.
Lying down with his eyes wide open.
Wide open. This is the very first time I would hear such case.
I'm telling you, this is reality. This guy, he didn't move to anywhere. He was just in the same place. He was sitting down. At a point, he fell down on the bed. He lay there for 3 good days. So what am I saying? Abuses can come from anywhere.
Wow.
Even the food we eat. If we don't control how we take it, the quantity that is good enough for us, it becomes an abuse. And anything that is abused becomes problematic to life. Is it water? When you take water in excess, it makes you uncomfortable. Whatever it is, we should learn moderation. Moderation is so important in everything we do. But for drug itself, we should stay away from it completely.
Yes.
We should stay away from it completely, because you won't know there's a thin line, between the proper usage, and the abuse of it. Of course, if there's a prescribed, some of the drugs we take, there are some level of cocaine and other substances that are
most especially tramadol.
Yes.
Most especially tramadol. Tramadol is being made with cocaine shafts now. Tramadol.
Even the mineral we drink. When Coca-Cola was first invented, it was actually like a morphine to suit the nerves of somebody, of the guy who invented it. It was along the line that they started, refining it till they had to remove a good part of that cocaine substance, you know. So, except those drugs are prescribed for one to take by an expert who knows his onion, not a quack.
Not
Otherwise,
a quack.
we should stick to the prescription. I bought some drugs yesterday for malaria and for malaria, and I was having cold. They gave me they prescribed, said, look, take 2 of these today. By tomorrow, take another 2. Stick to it to the letter. Otherwise, we will get involved in abuse of it, just like what happened to Original. I can tell you that what led to Original's death must have been one form of abuse or the other. Because if somebody can buy that blood tonic, it's very thick, that Didion blood tonic is very thick and very powerful. For him to have drank it all at a go, you know. So this life is small, is short. We have to how long we're going to stay or what is going to happen to us. But the ones who can help us off, let's follow up and not allow ourselves to be lured into some of those things by friends. And you know, somebody who is telling you, say, take a little, like you said, that guy was saying, say, look, I want you to wake up. Okay, you want to wake up. Okay, you sleep because you taught people in the afternoon, you did this, you did that. So you now sleep. You are not. You say your alarm couldn't help. You say, look, instead of me coming to bang at your door, take this, and you tried it. It worked. Next time you find out that, oh man, you have to take 2 instead of 1. Before you know it, it's all what the whole thing came out to be. So it is important for us to stick to the prescription religiously.
Very, very important, sir. So we have like less than 7 minutes to go, and so I would like you to talk about the books you've written. You talked about A Date with Failure,
yes,
and then you also talked about Contradictions. Are those the only books you've written? Because I would like to get through Benita. I would send some funds. You know, she would help me get them. Yeah, I would like to read them because you said so much. It's about life lessons. Drug abuse has to be about life lessons. So I'm so sure it will be useful for me. I'll be able to grab so many things, you know, and then share with others. So can I get it from a bookshop, or is it just in Lagos? And what books do you have? I really want to read them.
Yeah, I have, like I said earlier on, I have the first one is it's actually out of print now. A Date with Failure.
A Date
out
with
of Starting
Failure.
Up Again. Yeah, the book. The triumphs. But more so, what the book teaches is the fact that there is something that a common strand that runs through the lives of all great people, which is their failures. Their failures always far outweigh their successes. For there to be one good success story, there would have been, or must have been, several failure experiences. For example, Soichiro Honda of Honda Motor fame, he said that he mock up 99% of the time. When he wants to do something, he mock up. He's sure that he's going to fail, like 99% of the time. So he's waiting for that one moment, that 1% that will make him a success. You know, several great people had that experience in their life. All of them great success stories are always known by that. Just like a tree is known by the branches or the shadow it casts on the ground, so are great men known by the failures they had gone, by their travails, how they, they face their trials and then triumph eventually. So that's what that book is all about. It took into account several great people, so many of them, their life experiences, how they managed it, how they triumphed, and how the world can only manages to talk about their successes without knowing the process that brought about the success. So the second one, like I said, is Contradictions, Lessons from the School of Life.
Okay.
That one is the one that is very current now. I mean, we'll have it, and by next week it will be up on Amazon, on Okada Book, and
Okay, great.
yes, all those other platforms. So, and you can get them in some bookshops, especially at the airports. But then,
Okay.
that one, the Contradictions teaches
What about, can we send you a DM and then you probably link us up with maybe your marketers and then get them? Because I'm so sure I might, along the line, might not be today, might be probably someone listening to this in the next 1 year, 2 years, and then send me a DM like, okay,
no
how will we
wahala.
get the book?
No
So,
wahala.
like, can we send you a DM as well? To
Why
get the
not?
book.
Why not?
Okay, great. Okay, that's just what I want to know, sir. All right, sir.
Yeah. So
So,
like I saying, the Contradictions, though the time is just fast spent, but just for 1
yeah.
minute, the Contradictions talks about life. That life itself, the greatest lesson of life is that life is not what it seems to be. There's a lacuna between theory and practice. That when you see life, what you think it is different from what it is in reality. People tell you that life is not a bed of roses. But who says it's not a bed of roses? Because if you look at life, closely, you discover that life is actually, or could actually be likened to a bed of roses. Because when you see a bed of roses, it's looking so alluring on the surface. But underneath that beautiful surface you're seeing are thorns. Those thorns are what give impetus to the beauty you see on the surface. So life could actually be, looked at or be seen, could actually be a bed of roses, could be likened to, because if you are carried and thrown on a bed of roses, you are surely going to come out with blisters all over you. So life is different from what we think it is. So we have to look at life, look at it again and again and again, so that we can get the depth of life. Because, there is the surface experience, there is the mid experience, and then there's the bottom experience of life. So we cannot just judge life from the surface. We need to go, to the second level and then to the down level, to the bottom. So
all
that's what
right.
that
Thank
one
you.
says.
All right, thank you, sir. So before we run off for today, what is your word of advice do you have for the youths? Generally, does this take-home piece of advice that you have for the youths, those abusing drugs currently? No, let's start with word of advice for those who are not victims of drug abuse. Then word of advice for those who are victims yet right now. Then word of advice for those who are struggling to come out. And then, of course, word of advice for survivors like myself. And then we round up,
Yes.
sir.
Let me start with the survivors like yourself.
Okay. All right, sir.
What you're doing is great. You have to keep on, the momentum, keep it burning, because, every good thing, every action in life is a seed sown. It will germinate. If it's a good seed, it will produce according to its own kind. If it's a bad seed, it will still produce, according to its own kind. Nobody plants yam and you go and reap cocoyam. We all harvest what you have planted. So keep up with what you're doing, and please, for no reason should you ever go back, or anybody else who has come out of it should not for any reason go back. Yes. Then for those who are free, who have not tasted it, they should run for their dear life.
Yes.
Flee from the...
Run.
Yes, whether as a secondary smoker or primary or whatever, run from it. Run, because when you get it's always very, very difficult to come out of it. Yes, then for those who are in it already, they should seek help. They should allow themselves to, be treated. And by the way, that lecturer of yours who used to check up on you, who is like a father to you, he said you were taking that it was the alternative treatment that helped.
Yes, sir.
So they should allow themselves, parents should allow that their wards to be given that alternative treatment. It's very important. Sometimes all those tying of hands and all that might look so crude, but sometimes those things are because someone that is violent has to be trained
Yes.
first to be quiet.
Yes.
You know, it is some of those things that kept even you that you didn't go back again. We remember
Yes.
the pains and all the, you know, you say,
Yes,
man, God
yes.
forbid, I can never allow that to happen to me again.
Yes,
you know?
that's very true.
So, yes, then those two who are struggling to come out, they should, you know, push on, because anything you give vent to becomes your reality. Let us, you know, take hold of our hearts, our mind, because wherever the mind is placed on, oftentimes becomes our reality. You know, there's
Yes,
a new book I'm working on. It says, man, the creator of his experience. Whatever, everything in life was once a thought in the mind of one person or the other. The
very
entire
true.
world was a thought in the mind of God. So
Very
let us
true.
guide our heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. So says the gospel. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Benita Okore, yes, of course. She says, thank you, Professor Somi Uranta, for honoring our request. I myself, I am saying a big thank you for
Thank you
honoring
too.
our request. And of course, our audience, we say a big thank you for honoring our request and for also introducing your friend, Dr. Is it Precious or Peace?
Yes,
or
Dr.
Praise?
Precious, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes, because he's been introducing Dr. Precious to us, and then of course we'll schedule a day.
Yes.
So thank you everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you some other time, and of course discuss about the physical. You know, we have to come to Ikeja to have a physical one-on-one, but we'll talk about that. Also. So thank you very much, Somi Uranta.
You're
It's a
welcome.
great
Very well.
honor and pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank
you,
Bye-bye.
sir. All right, bye-bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.